This is the Week in Review, episode 191. This is where we go over Raw and SmackDown in a WWE action figure setup style. I talk about what happened, tell you what I thought about it, if it was bad, if it was good. Let's jump into Monday Night Raw first. We opened up the show with a Raw Women's Championship #1 contenders match between Alexa Bliss and Bayley. Before this match could even get started, Becky Lynch ran down and took out Dakota Kai and Io Sky so they wouldn't be a factor in Alexa Bliss losing this match. Definitely helped. Alexa Bliss was able to hit the Twisted Bliss on Bayley with a little help from Bianca Belair, allowing Alexa Bliss to pick up the victory because Bianca Belair had grabbed the turnbuckle pad and showed the referee in order for Alexa Bliss to hit the Twisted Bliss and pick up the victory over Bayley. And then Bianca gets in the ring, approaches Alexa Bliss. It looks like they're having a little friendly competition, little stand down, and then Alexa Bliss, a flash of the Fiend buzzard, pops on the Titantron, and Alexa Bliss gets possessed for a short time and tries to hit the Sister Abigail on Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair looks at her like, what the hell are you doing? And then Alexa Bliss sort of snaps out of it, and then Bianca Belair is like, oh my gosh, what did you just do? And then Alexa Bliss just gets out of there. So I guess they still want to affiliate Bray Wyatt with Alexa Bliss. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't want them to do that personally. I feel like Alexa Bliss would just be solid by her own. Get rid of that garbage freaking theme song. You guys know how I feel about it. I talked about it last week. Stand up. Oh my God, kill me. That song sucks. But anyways, it was cool to see Alexa Bliss beat Bayley. And she's going to be getting a Raw Women's Championship opportunity against Bianca. I'm looking forward to it. Right after that, we had AJ Styles versus Chad Gable one-on-one. And can I just talk about how amazing Chad Gable is? I don't think he's talked about enough. He's a former Olympian, just like Kurt Angle. He has a 4.0 GPA. Thank you. Shoosh. You guys already know how Chad Gable rolls. He's an absolute beast out in that ring with the man, the myth, the legend, Otis. He was out there against AJ Styles one-on-one. It ended a little unfortunate for Chad Gable, though, because AJ Styles was able to hit the Styles Clash on Chad Gable to pick up the victory. And then right after that, Styles and Gallows and Meech and Mia Yim basically just celebrated because, of course, Carl Anderson is in Japan doing a match type deal over there. So AJ Styles was able to beat Chad Gable pretty swiftly. But, dude, Chad Gable does not get recognized enough. He's a great talent. Moving over here was a big tag team match. It was the Judgment Day. Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio going up against the Street Profits, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, as well as Akira Tozawa. This was a pretty cool six-man tag team match. You did have Rhea Ripley on ringside, posing as a little distraction throughout the match. Nothing too crazy, though. But in the end, we did see Damian Priest deliver a big, razor's edge to Akira Tozawa into the ring, which allowed Dominic Mysterio to pick up the victory for Judgment Day. I was expecting that. I mean, Akira Tozawa and the Street Profits don't really need a victory here, but this was a kind of boring match. I wasn't really into it too much. And seeing Akira Tozawa get pinned again, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I guess he's not going anywhere. Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis were handing out merchandise to the WWE Universe, literally just walking with a big cart of merchandise, throwing it out to the crowd. I thought this was a really wholesome moment. Of course, Christmas in the forefront here, and Gargano and Dexter Lumis start trying to spread some Christmas cheer, and then Miz runs out and tries to steal the money, because of course they use the money to buy all the merchandise, and Miz wants his money back. He doesn't have any cash. Of course, he's rich, his bank accounts are full, but he doesn't have any cash. He needs cash. So Miz tries to steal the money. Adam Pearce stops him, sends him back to the ring, and he tells him to give Dexter back his money. And then it turns into a little challenge. Gargano challenges The Miz for Dexter Lumis. So it's going to be Lumis versus Miz in a ladder match where the money is going to be suspended above the ring. So technically it's a Money in the Bank match, literally, because there's going to be money in a bag suspended above the ring, and I'm looking forward to that match. Finally, they make something decent out of this freaking Lumis-Miz storyline. As far as this little promo goes, though, it was just okay. Speaking of okay, moving over here is Candice LeRae versus Io Sky one-on-one. This match was really nothing special. You did have Damage Control on ringside. They didn't really pose too much as a factor in this match. Candice LeRae sort of just took the L after Io Sky hit a wicked moonsault. Honestly, in my opinion, Io Sky is definitely the standout out of Damage Control. I think she absolutely kicks a bunch of ass compared to Dakota Kai and Bayley. But yeah, Io Sky was able to pick up the victory over Candice LeRae and take her out with the moonsault. Not a bad match. Elias was paying homage to the recently injured Riddle, or recently suspended, I should say, Riddle, but yeah, injured as well. He was paying homage, playing his song, because Riddle always wanted to perform with Elias in the ring, so Elias sung his song with a little script that he gave him, which looked like a joint for a second, and then Elias is like, it's a script that Riddle had for me. It got interrupted by Solo Sikoa, of course, turned into a match. Solo Sikoa picks up the victory, obviously, with the spinning solo. Sami Zayn was on ringside. Right after that, it looked like they were going to take out Elias just like they did to Riddle, but then Kevin Owens ran down and didn't necessarily be best friends with Elias, but he got Solo and Sammy out of there so they don't inflict any more damage. Because, of course, if you remember, Ezekiel, aka Elias, was antagonizing and just making Kevin Owens go crazy all those months ago during the summer. So if you guys remember that, which I freaking do, is hilarious. But yeah, Kevin Owens still gave Elias a stunner just for good measure. It wasn't necessarily like a full heel move. It was just for good measure. A little payback for what Ezekiel and Elias put him through, all those freaking months ago. So I definitely think it wasn't really a heel turn. Elias deserved it. Moving over, here's our main event of the show. It was Seth freaking Rollins going one-on-one with Bobby Lashley in the main event. This was for an opportunity at the United States Championship that Theory currently holds, and this match was amazing. I watched it back. I watched it twice. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was action-jammed. They fought everywhere, into the WWE Universe, into the ringside area, the ring itself. This was a great match. In the end, we did see Seth Rollins pick up the victory by countering a spear into a pedigree. I love when he does that. He's done it to Roman Reigns in the past, and he did it to Lashley here. It was so clean, so smooth. My dad was watching. He's like, what the heck just happened? He just hit a pedigree. I was like, let's go. But then after the match, after Bobby Lashley took the L with that wicked counter of a pedigree, he started assaulting referees because he was pissed. Because he blamed the referee for not counting because he injured his ankle. And then Adam Pearce had to come out to calm down Lashley and a bunch of officials. And he ended up shoving Adam Pearce and just making Adam Pearce mad. Everybody was caught up in the moment, and Adam Pearce uttered the words, "You're fired," to Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley is no longer with WWE. Can you believe it? Bobby Lashley was fired by Adam Pearce on the spot, out in the ring. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what did he just say? It wasn't even mic'd up. It was literally, if you were watching on TV or in a couple of the front rows where he said it, you wouldn't have heard it back in the 200s or the 100 seats. You wouldn't have heard him say it. It was only on TV. He said, "You're fired," to Lashley. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, what? So he fired Lashley, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go. Left us with a cliffhanger. Amazing job, Trips. Show in a whole was okay, sort of boring. I feel like this show could easily go to 2 hours and cut all the garbage filler that they have in it. Literally, make Raw 2 hours. I think it'd be way freaking better, Just make it a bunch of good and less filler. 2 out of 5 from me this week. Not a bad show. Let's jump into SmackDown now in Chicago. Jumping into SmackDown, which was resigning from Chicago, Illinois. Well, technically Rosemont, Illinois, but yeah, close enough. Chicago, Illinois, baby. Yes, I was not here, but a couple of my buddies were. They said it was a pretty decent show to be at, and I might have wished I was there. Not gonna lie, but this was a good show to watch as well. It's a great show to watch on television. We opened with Dakota Kai and Io Sky going up against Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox for the Women's Tag Team Championships. At first, I thought this was a weak match to begin with, but then once I actually started watching it, getting into it, I'm like, whoa, this is a banger, bro. We saw this wicked, sunset flip powerbomb from Liv Morgan to the outside to Dakota Kai, and then to finish off the match, this was so dumb in my opinion. A random person covered all in black, jumped the barricade, and grabbed one of, I forgot who it was. It was either Liv Morgan or Tegan Nox to disrupt their victory that they were about to get, allowing Io Sky to hit the moonsault on Tegan Nox to pick up the victory and retain the Women's Tag Team Championships. They later announced that it was Xia Li, and I was like, why wouldn't you just take the hood off of her then and there, Why would you announce it later in the show? I thought that was kind of dumb, but as far as this match goes, absolute banger. I really enjoyed it. Moving over here, LA Knight came out and he wanted more answers. He clarified what happened last week in that locker room area when he got attacked by Uncle Howdy, but he still presumes it's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt comes out, says once again to LA Knight that it was not him. It was not him. LA Knight doesn't believe him, starts kicking his butt in. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? LA Knight, easy. Believe Bray Wyatt, it's not him. And then Uncle Howdy comes out. Not the Fiend. I just put the Fiend over there because he has a mask. It's Bray Wyatt. But no, Uncle Howdy, a different person, not Bray Wyatt, comes out. So looks like Uncle Howdy is a different person. It's not an alternate character, alternate personality of Bray Wyatt. It's actually a different person. And I think it's Bo Dallas. That's just my personal guess. Comment down below who you guys think Uncle Howdy is. I don't know who it is personally, but my guess would be Bo Dallas, because, I mean, he's actually a relative of Bray Wyatt, his brother. The Rotunda family, of course. But, dude, this was great. You could just see the look on LA Knight's face. He was like, oh, my God, it wasn't Bray Wyatt. Who is this Uncle Howdy? This actually's got me a little more interested in this storyline than I already was. I thought it was a little dragging. It was dragging a little bit, but they definitely got me hooked now. Jumping over here was the Intercontinental Championship match between Ricochet and Gunther. This was an amazing match. In the beginning, it was a little slow, I can't lie. Gunther's offense in the beginning was just really boring. I was like, oh my gosh, this is boring. How long has Gunther been on the offensive side here? And then Ricochet finally started getting some offense, but it wasn't enough. He did some wicked maneuvers to the outside, an amazing counter off the top rope, landing on his feet. Ricochet's an absolute beast. In my personal opinion, he's the king of the ropes. Literally, not Lince Dorado. But anyways, Ricochet was not able to pick up the victory and get the Intercontinental Championship. He did have a really cool kick out at the end from a powerbomb that Gunther had did to him, but then Gunther had like that side slam that he does, that new finisher, to put away Ricochet to retain his Intercontinental title. But then Imperium came in the ring after being barred from ringside during the match, and then they looked like they were about to, lay a beating on Ricochet, but then Braun Strowman came out, the guy that they sort of planted the seeds that he was going to be facing Gunther next, presumably at the Royal Rumble, I would guess. But yeah, this was a great match. Hats off to Ricochet. I want him to see him. I want to see him do more, dude. I want to see him do more. I love Ricochet, and he's literally one of the best high flyers, if not the best high flyer in WWE. Moving over here, it was a triple threat tag team match between the Viking Raiders, Top Dollar, Shanti Diadonis, and freaking, oh my gosh, what's the last team? Legado del Fantasma. This was a pretty botchamania tag team match. I'm not going to lie. Top Dollar literally almost died. I'm not going to lie. He went for a suicide dive over the top rope, and he literally almost died. He jumped over, and his legs got caught on the top rope. He literally almost face planted, and thank God he's okay. It was horrible. I was like, oh my gosh. And everybody still fell on the outside because they were expecting him to go over the top rope and catch him, but it was just, oh my goodness. Top Dollar, just glad you're okay. But in the end, he was able, Top Dollar and, Hit Row, they were able to win the match. And I believe that gets him a future tag team championship opportunity. I could be wrong on that, but I would assume it does. I forgot what the match rules were for. But yeah, it was an okay match. This happened backstage. It was Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. They attacked Raquel Rodriguez again in the backstage area, basically just saying that Raquel's going to win this Friday night on SmackDown. Oh, they beat her down again. They broke her arm again after it was just healing. Oh, but she's still going to win the match and get that championship match against Ronda Rousey and hopefully win the title because Ronda's a boring champion. Moving to our main thing of the show, it was the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, the man that I would have loved to have seen in person. I've seen him in person before, but never as the Tribal Chief. He came out, amazing entrance as always. He was out there with the entire bloodline, the Wise Man, the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa, the Usos, the Honorary Usos, Sami Zayn, and himself, the Tribal Chief. He asked Chicago to acknowledge him, and they did. And then they started talking about Kevin Owens after Sami Zayn accidentally said, Kevin Owens, his only friend is me, or was me. And he sort of stumbled on his words. I'm like, no, they're going to turn on Zayn. They're planting the seeds. It's only a matter of time until the bloodline turns on Sami Zayn. It's going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the tag titles. Guaranteed that happens at WrestleFreaking-Mania. That'll be amazing. But then, before they could get out any more words about Sami, messing up with his words, they made a tag team match, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns on the freaking December 30th episode of SmackDown. And Kevin Owens needs to get a partner. Who did he choose? Or who did he contact? None other than John Cena. He contacted my favorite WWE superstar of all time, John Cena. And John Cena is going to be coming to the December 30th episode of SmackDown to be side by side with Kevin Owens to go up against Sami Zayn, the Honorary Usos, and the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I am hyped as crap for that match. It's going to be a banger. Let's go. Let's freaking go, baby. That was an awesome promo. Not one of the Bloodline's best promos, but it was still decent. I feel like Cena stole most of the spotlight. He wasn't even out there. He was on the Titantron. I was like, dude, come on, man. But of course, they want to save his return for the December 30th episode of SmackDown. But yeah, guys, that was SmackDown setup style. Wish I would have been there, of course. But yeah, in the end, the show's going to get a 3 out of 5. Solid matchups, decent storytelling. You guys can let me know what you guys thought about the shows down in the comments down below. And Uncle Howdy, who is it? Let me know down in the comments down below, guys. And smash a like on the video. Subscribe to Bretto Live. Peace, guys. Brett, out.